This latest poll giving the No campaign a stronger lead than they've had for over a week. I spoke to the Better Together campaign leader, Alistair, and I asked him why should Scots now trust warnings from the banks who he condemned for causing the financial crisis and recession.
I think that when you get all the Scottish banks saying that they would have to move their headquarters down south to London, then people will take notice of that. You know, here we are in Edinburgh, the headquarters of RBS, and people know that only 6 years ago that bank almost collapsed.
But these are the very banks who sank the British economy, and the supermarkets are the ones who sold us horse meat.
Look, I think that people understand that these risks are real, and I, for one, and my guess is a lot of other people in this country, are not going to take the risk that we start losing the headquarters of banks, that we face the prospect of price increases in supermarkets. We don't need those risks. We don't have to take them. And what's astonishing is 5 days before we go to the polls, Alex Salmond can't even tell us the currency we'll be using. He can't tell us how we can secure the funding for the health service or payment of pensions. People know that.
But you're telling people to believe institutions they fundamentally don't trust, and to believe the Conservative Party that they will give more devolved powers, when you always say we can't believe what the Tories say.
All the non-nationalist parties have said and have committed themselves to introducing legislation in a matter of months to strengthen the Scottish Parliament. And it's not about current politicians or current business leaders. This is a decision that if we decide to go, will be with us for decades, even centuries. And that's why it's so important.
My point is that your bedfellows in this campaign are people you normally don't trust and are always telling us not to believe.
Look, when Alex Salmond in the last Parliament relied on Tory votes to keep his administration going, I don't remember him objecting to that. It's not uncommon that where politicians agree with each other, they work together. Where they disagree, of course they have their arguments.
So why do you think it's gone so wrong? You've gone from a 20-point lead to neck and neck.
I said a year ago when I was asked about the opinion polls that I thought they were wrong.
But why do you think they're narrowing?
I said they would narrow because this is such a big decision, and as people see the finishing post, they see the polling day is only 5 days away, it's not surprising with the magnitude of the decision that people are still changing their minds.
But they've been going more in one way. Why do you think they're going towards yes and away from no?
Because I think there was something unreal about the campaign 1 or 2 years ago, because it was so far in the distance.
The markets have already lost confidence though, haven't they? I mean, we've seen huge amounts of money flowing out of Scottish business. They think you've lost.
The uncertainty comes because people don't know what would happen if Scotland left the United Kingdom. They don't know what currency we'll be using.
They think you're going to lose.
They don't know what have jobs. It's not surprising that when you have uncertainty, markets react to that. But it's a stark warning, because this is before the poll. If we leave, how much worse would it be?
Just personally, if you wake up on Friday morning and it's a yes, how are you going to feel? I mean, do you still want to live in this country?
Look, I live in Scotland and no one is going to tell me to go. I'm going to stay here. This is my home. This is my country. That's why I feel so passionately about this argument.
Alistair, and we'll have more on the referendum in a few minutes, but first the rest of the news. The family of a British aid worker who's being held by Islamic State militants in Syria has